That deal was cut by Bush. That deal was cut by Obama more than anybody. But it was always part of the plan on how to sink America into the one world government and using man-made climate change as the shoehorn to get America into the one world government and say we have to be carbon neutral or carbon net zero. Now, that's impossible. It's never going to happen. You'd have to kill all the humans to do that. Maybe that's what they want to do. But so that's what they do. So the current deal in place is stop America from being energy independent. Stop America from having pipelines, gas pipelines that keep our prices down. Cut the pipelines out. Biden's already done that. Multiple pipelines cut. Now they're proposing on cutting another. So the gas price goes up. That's the deal he's cut. Biden cut a deal to screw America over. It's undeniable. Some will deny it, but they're just lying that the Biden administration is destroying America. The supply chain issues and the consumer price index are the two major factors that impact every American. They're seeing the store shelves empty. They're seeing their energy costs go up. They're seeing their food costs go up. They're seeing their grocery bills go up. All their bills go up. They're seeing the gas pumps hit record highs. And it's no secret. Everybody knows what's happened. Everybody knows it's Biden. And so here's Biden, though, trying to explain it away and, of course, failing in miserable fashion. Here's Biden trying to explain it away, if you can even understand what he's saying, in clip 7.
Why is the price of agricultural products, when I go to the store, why is it higher? What, like, for example, if we were all going out and having lunch together and I said, let's ask whoever's in the next table, no matter what restaurant we're in, have them explain the supply chain to us. Think they'd understand what we're talking about? They're smart people, but supply chain. Well, why is everything backed up? Well, it's backed up because the people who supply the materials that end up being on our kitchen table or in our life. Guess what? They're closed those plants because they have COVID. They're not. So it's a complicated world that people are facing. We've never faced anything like this before.
So imagine, they've had all the different excuses in the world, and they've even denied it at times that there's a supply chain issue. So first was, there is no supply chain issue. There is no increase in prices. To, oh, well, that's just a seasonal thing. That just comes with the season. That's not a problem. To, well, that's because we pumped so much money into the economy that there's so much consumption and there's not enough supply to meet the demand. To now back to square one, which is where we were at over a year ago, which is, oh, everybody's sick with COVID and so they can't get it. Really, I thought they were all vaccinated. So they just can't stop lying. Everything's a lie because they can't tell you the truth. And the truth is they're collapsing the United States of America, its supply chain, its border, its culture, its infrastructure, everything, because they're part of a bigger agenda to collapse the United States of America as it is, so that it can be rolled up into a world government system. So they can't be honest about what's actually going on. That's why they're constantly changing their lies or denying it. But for old, creepy, sleepy Joe, it's not going so well. And again, this is something that people are probably familiar with. Duchess of Cornwall claims Biden farted long and loud during COP26 summit. Camilla Parker Bowles, also known as the Duchess of Cornwall, can't stop talking about overhearing Joe Biden's long and loud fart he let loose during Monday's COP26 climate reception in Glasgow. And again, this is not trying to be a shock jock. I'm not trying to be gross. I'm not trying to give you a biology lesson here. But if you've ever dealt with an elderly person in your family or somebody dealing with Alzheimer's or other diseases, you know that as they get into old age, there's certain functions that they lose control of. And the external sphincter, again, this isn't a biology lesson here, I'm just telling you, Biden has no control over his bowels or his external sphincter. So, again, if you have an older person in your family that's dealt with this, you know that it's happened. Sometimes they soil themselves. Sometimes they rip a 30-second long fart. And then it's just kind of funny. You're like, did grandma what's grandma? Oh, grandma, geez. He kind of, blushes and gets embarrassed, and it just comes with age, and everybody knows it. Well, that's Biden roaming around the planet, roaming around all these summits, literally crapping himself and having meetings with world leaders and just passing wind 30 seconds long. He shouldn't be in this position, folks. He shouldn't be in this position. He should be taken care of by his family. He should be stay in his Delaware vacation home or wherever. And then he can crap and fart and burp and do all the things he does all day long, and it won't be a problem for anybody, except the people that take care of him, and that's fine. They probably owe that to him for all the money he's stolen for them and his family. But no, he's out touring the world. He can't even do it. Again, it's all by design to further collapse the United States of America by giving us a weak, feckless, fake leader in Joe Biden. So, as you know, the prices of gas and energy are rising in the U.S., and that's by design. That's by design because Biden has shut off the oil pipelines. Well, now he's talking about shutting off another one. So imagine your gas is at $8 right now. If they shut this pipeline off, it could go to $10. Biden considering shutting down another pipeline despite soaring energy prices. The Biden administration is looking into terminating a major Midwest pipeline despite begging OPEC to ramp up oil production to offset skyrocketing domestic energy prices. And by the way, that's all just posturing. There's no real attempt from Biden to get OPEC or Russia or Saudi Arabia to pump out more oil or lower their prices. That's just all posturing. That's probably not even happening, folks. And if it was, they'd be laughing. No, this is part of going CO2 carbon neutral, as they say it, which is just a lie. It's not even about it. This is about making the American way of life, getting you used to not being able to afford gas, not being able to keep your AC on, or not being able to keep your heat on in your home. That's what this is. It's all a training exercise to get you used to living in poverty and used to living on the edge where you're not even sure if you're going to be able to heat your home the next day or fill your car with gas because, well, it's a good thing when you heat your home or you fill your car, you're killing the planet. So see, they tell you we want to get it down to zero. We want to get net neutral carbon. They tell you that that's the plan. They brag about it. They use it as a talking point about how great they are. But then when they actually do it, they say, oh, we don't know what this is about. This is just normal. This is just natural. So imagine, they tell you we want to end coal, we want to end natural gas, and then they actually do it, and then you see the effects, and you say, what the heck is going on here? My way of life is gone. And then they just say, well, that's just happening. There's nothing we can do about that. We'll try to help it with OPEC, when they're doing it intentionally. So you see, this is what's so frustrating is you have to understand something. When they go on TV and tell you critical race theory is great, and then the next day they go on TV and tell you critical race theory doesn't exist, you have to accept and understand and deal with the level of lying and deception that is going on right now. And it's in all these different factors. It's in all these different sectors, whether it's energy and carbon, or whether it's critical race theory and racism, or whether it's elections, or whether it's Trump, or whether it's anything and everything. They lie to you about everything. Everything. They lie to you about COVID. They lie to you about carbon neutral and footprints and the effectiveness of vaccines and global warming and elections and racism. They lie to you about everything. 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 Everything they tell you is a lie. So it's time to just accept that, realize it, and deal with it. They tell you they want to stop coal from being used, stop natural gas from being used, stop cars. I mean, they tell you that's their plan. And then you see all the price skyrockets of energy and fuel and gas at the pump, and you don't see what's going on here? You really don't get it? No, but people do get it. People do get it, and they know it's Biden's fault. They know it's his administration's fault. And it just never really gets a chance edgewise to make it into the national conversation because the entire White House press pool is Democrat activists except Peter Doocy. But every once in a while, he gets a question and exposes the entire regime's lies. But here is the fill-in for COVID, fully vaccinated but COVID-infected Jen Psaki. Here is her fill-in attempting to answer the question of how they're going to deal with high gas prices, but actually admitting they have no plan in clip 11.
Okay, and on what the Secretary General and what she was saying yesterday, what options besides tapping the Strategic Petroleum Reserve does the president have to counteract higher gas prices?
So, I've talked about this a couple of times. We don't have an announcement yet on anything to share at this time. But we're monitoring it, right? We're monitoring the prices, and we're making sure that we have tools in our tool belt that we can try and use. But at this time, I don't have anything new to share.
What else are you reviewing? Because Secretary Granholm has confirmed that is an option that's on the table, and the president has said there are other tools that he could potentially use. So could you just lay out what those other options are that he's considering?
So I don't have anything specific here. The president spoke to this recently, but he's also asked FTC to crack down on illegal pricing, right? That is one thing that he did on gouging in the market.
Yeah, right.
And the FTC is responding, but also we're going to continue to monitor the situation.
They're monitoring.
And have a number of tools in our arsenal, as I just mentioned.
Oh, yeah?
I don't have anything specific.
You have no tools. You have nothing. You have no plan. So here's what's happened, folks. Biden and the Biden regime, or whoever runs Biden, cut a deal with the world government and the world leaders in the world government, or their agenda, what they see as the next world government, the new one world government, the new world order. And he said, I will cut down America's carbon footprint, or whatever phrase they use at the time. So he cut that deal. That deal was cut by Bush. That deal was cut by Obama more than anybody. But it was always part of the plan on how to sink America into the one world government and using man-made climate change as the shoehorn to get America into the one world government and say we have to be carbon neutral or carbon net zero. Now, that's impossible. It's never going to happen. You'd have to kill all the humans to do that. Maybe that's what they want to do. But so that's what they do. So the current deal in place is stop America from being energy independent. Stop America from having pipelines, gas pipelines that keep our prices down. Cut the pipelines out. Biden's already done that. Multiple pipelines cut. Now they're proposing on cutting another. So the gas price goes up. That's the deal he's cut. Biden cut a deal to screw America over. That's what's going on. Now, the funny thing is, China's not cutting this deal. Neither is India. They're putting out more carbon. They got more coal burning. They're good. They're fine with it. By the way, as the carbon emissions go up in China, guess what? The forestation goes up too because, yeah, that's what plants need is carbon. It's a crazy thing that the left either doesn't know or lies about. So that's what's going on. A deal has been cut that the U.S. is going to price its people out of using gas, and it's going to do everything they can to shut off as many pipelines and coal plants as they can. That is their ticket into the one world government. Why they want to go into it, your guess, I mean, maybe they like seeing America collapse. Maybe they hate America. Maybe they really think it's great. Whatever. That's the deal that's been made. So they're shutting our energy off. Your price is going to go up to heat your home, to cool your home. Your price is going to skyrocket. Your price at the pump is going to skyrocket. And then ultimately, you're not going to drive. You're not going to heat or cool your home. That's the New World Order. And they brag about it at the World Economic Forum, at the UN. And they say, you won't own anything. You won't drive. You won't have a car. You won't heat or cool your home because you won't be able to. And you won't have a job anyway. So it's all part of a plan, folks. And it's just frustrating because anybody who looks at this that isn't completely brainwashed sees what's going on. It's like, oh, they want America to cut its oil production, cut its coal production. Okay. Now prices are skyrocketing. Okay. Now they're shutting down the coal plants and shutting down the pipelines. Okay. That's going to be a complete disaster. And sure enough, it will be. I don't know how long it's going to take for people to realize how much of a disaster, but it's going to be bad.